probably a difficult few days for us.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
We need to come through there. That's a clever boy. Welcome to our channel. In March of 2022, Sue and I set off to realise a dream. We are living full-time in our motorhome and travelling the UK with our 2 Labradors. Sue loves to run every day with Fudge, whilst the old boy Archie still enjoys a gentle stroll. We love the freedom of our lifestyle and finding new places to explore. So hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we leave the New Forest and go on to see some other destinations. So without further ado, why don't you come with us? Leaving the New Forest on a beautiful sunny day, off to our next destination. Sue and I moved on yesterday after probably a difficult few days for us. I think Sue has ended up having COVID a little bit less mild than me. The good news is she says she's feeling a bit better today, but we're out walking the dogs. Now we're staying at a CL site called Sawmills Farm, which is just outside Emsworth in Hampshire. It's got water, waste, hard standing, electric hookup, so it's a good little stop for us en route to Brighton. And the reason we're going to Brighton is I have an old school friend who lives there now, so we want to catch up with her and her partner and hopefully have a nice couple of days on the Caravan Motorhome Club site just outside Brighton. So I haven't done too much filming recently, that's just because we haven't been feeling brilliant, but feels like we're back on track now. We can look forward to making this video and seeing some new places again. We're back in the woods that we were in this morning. We did try and find a different kind of footpath across the other side of the road, but even though it was signposted and even though it's on OS maps, it really wasn't very clear. And there was horses in there as well.
Yeah, it was in a field, of horses. That's true. Poor old Arch. Anyway, but these woods are fine. The dogs are at least getting a chance to stretch their legs. Fudge not as much as usual because Sue's still not running yet. And hopefully not for a day or two because she's definitely not right. She won't listen to me.
Well, I haven't run for the last few days.
I know, but you're still not right, are you?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, she's getting there. It'll be fine. She's got a test in a few days' time because we are planning to meet up with some friends. Obviously, we won't meet them if she's still testing positive, but we're keeping everything crossed for a speedy recovery.
Now I haven't been sure with this. It's supposed to be a bliss, being alone, being free in every way. Didn't know what I like the feel of it, putting out what you had lit. But let me tell you, these things don't hurt a bit. Cause you see, I was all wrapped up in everything, but now that I'm out, I got wind.
Last site we were at, which was Sawmills Farm, wasn't that great for dog walks? So we've decided, en route to Brighton, to stop off at one of our favourite beaches, which is West Wittering, because the dogs love a walk. But
better still, a real treat for us is there is a little cafe here, and so we're going to get some breakfast at the cafe, and then once we've had some breakfast we'll take the dogs down onto the beach, and they're just gonna love it, and so am I.
Wings. I got wind. I got wind under my wings. Now what was it you used to say? How you needed a solid way to be yourself. Now you're free in every way, and you see I was all wrapped up in everything, but now that I'm out, I got wind under my wings. So tell me that you need me.
So that's us. We've had an absolutely fantastic walk on the beach. We've got sand everywhere now, but it'll all just brush away, possibly even blow away. But we've had a really nice walk on the beach. Dogs loved it. How about you, Sue?
Yeah, no, it was good.
We've arrived at the Caravan and Motorhome Club site just outside Brighton, and we're just about to take the dogs out for their afternoon stroll. I'm waiting for Sue. She's been doing the laundry today. There's laundry facilities on this site, which is always a bonus. So she's just stuck the dryer on for another couple of minutes and we'll be on our way. Come on, Archie, keep up. That's a good lad. You're keeping up. Good boy. Good boy. So we've just walked just a really short distance off the site, and there's this big public park area. So, a big expansive area for walking the dogs. There's people all over here walking the dogs, and I don't know if you see behind me up there, we're obviously in an area of the South Downs, I think. And my understanding is, you can see people right at the top in the distance up there. So I'm guessing you must be able to walk a fair distance. Another good place. I mean, considering how close you are to the city of Brighton, this is a nice find. I think it was recommended to me by a former colleague actually who'd been here herself, and it's not somewhere where we would have thought of coming, but we've got a friend who lives not far from here, so it's a nice base for us. Hopefully we'll catch up tomorrow on, gosh, I can't remember the last time I saw her. We were at school together. I've seen her since school, but not for probably 15 years or so. It'll be just like tomorrow, or yesterday. What I mean, catching up would be just like we were back at school doing pranks and being naughty. You see in the distance there's a cafe. It's now time to fit the Tyrepal Colour Pro that we bought a couple of months ago. Sue's taken off the dust cap and is now putting the rubber protective cover over the tyre where the air goes in. You put it over and you push the rubber back, which as you can see is a bit of a fiddly job. And then the next thing is attaching a nut which comes within the package. So that gets screwed onto the valve, and screw it on quite some distance, so as far as it will go really. There's a small tool that comes with it, so you can it's a small spanner that comes with it that allows you to screw it on as far as you can. Once that's on some good distance, it's time to attach the tyre pressure monitor for that wheel. In the package they all come. It comes with them all ready set up. So this is the left front. When it first goes on, you'll hear it fizz, a little bit of air comes out, but as long as the nut is far enough back, that will stop. And then you can see Sue is now turning the nut in the opposite direction to bring it back up level with the sensor and lock it in place. And then the final job is just to pull back the rubber protective cover so it stops any dirt getting in. And voila, all done. So this is the tyre pressure monitor, and if the tyre pressures look high, the tyres are rated at 80. This is after driving and then stopping for a short time, so it goes to sleep and it just displays what the tyre pressures were when we actually stopped at this location. We've set our monitor to 86 as high and 65 as low, so that it only alarms when it either goes above 85 or below 65, so it's not annoying. So far it's working, and Sue did a really good job of fitting the tyre valves, the pressure valves. So morning everyone. We did move on yesterday, and we moved on to a place called Sussex to Priory, near a small village called Rudgwick. Actually not that far from Gatwick. So we have, it's not loads of noise, but you do get the odd planes going over. It's quite a big site, but there's hardly anyone here at the moment. I think the people who are here seem to be living on site permanently, but I mean there's literally one other little touring caravan, and there's a couple of statics. But it's big, but there's only a really small toilet block, so we can't really understand that, because there's only a couple of showers and a couple of toilets. So if this site was full, it would really struggle. We haven't used those yet. We'll be using them later this morning. So we'll tell you all about that, I think, if we remember. But anyway, this place is £35 a night. It's really expensive for what it is, and we were originally going to book for 3 nights, and when we heard £35 we said no, we'll just stay for 2. And the reason we're here is because we are meeting some friends in about 5 days' time, 5 or 6 days' time. So we were kind of meandering towards where they live and staying at a site close to them. But the closer and closer we're getting to London, and they live just really on the outskirts of London, but the closer we're getting, we're finding fewer sites are available. There's quite a lot, but a lot of them are closed. Maybe they're missing a trick there, I don't know. But they're getting more and more expensive, and they're not really in the kind of places that we like, which is, as you know if you've watched this channel for a while, it's rural. And somewhere where we can walk the dogs. Now here is fine actually, because just off the site there are loads and loads of footpaths. Stopped because Archie's just having a quick wee. There's loads and loads of footpaths, so here is absolutely fine. But we've been doing lots of searching over probably the last 4 or 5 days, and we are really struggling to find other places. What we've decided to do is actually head back down to the south coast, and where campsites are, there's more of them open. They're not quite as extortionate, because actually, although we are meandering to our friends, we have reflected on the fact that if this was a year ago before we
started living full-time in van life, we would have just driven up, you know. It's probably no more than an hour and a half. It's funny how things change and how your perspective changes. So we decided, well, we'll just go back down south. We'll find a campsite down there. And then when we're due to meet our friends, we'll drive up. Seems normal, doesn't it? Footpath, isn't it? So how are you going to get through there, Arch? We need to come through there. That's a clever boy. Come on. Oh, that's clever. Well done. So look what I've found. Tucked away in these trees. Let's have a wander. Come on, Arch. There's a little fire pit. How lovely is that? That's the official way in. Bring you into the shower block because I can, because there's nobody else here. So there's one of the toilets. There's another toilet there. First shower you get to. Now the first thing I noticed is, I don't know if you can see, there's actually no door to the shower. There is just a shower curtain. Now that's fine for us, but that might be a bit of an off-put for some people. That one's a push button shower, as you can see. I've tried both of these showers because I started in that one this morning and I finished in the next one along, because although that's a push button, you can't change the temperature and it wasn't particularly warm. So I moved into this one, which as you can see is a Brighton kind of electric shower point. But watch this. When we started it, shower pressure doesn't look too bad. Look, as the temperature goes up, the shower pressure just gets worse and worse and worse. Eventually, things see, it's not a great shower. So as you can see, I've not been overly impressed with this site, and that's a real shame really, because there's nothing actually wrong with the site. Imagine the summer and it's full and there's lots of kids around here playing. It's perfectly fine. The shower block is not big enough if it was full, and it's in a porter cabin. And as you've seen, the showers are really poor quality. Now when we rang up and we got the price for this place, so with electric hookup £35, it felt quite expensive at the time. So I inquired about, well, what about without electric hookup? And that was £30 a night. The energy crisis and inflating bills cannot be an excuse for the price of what is in effect £30 per night for a pitch with fresh water and somewhere to get rid of your wastewater. So it is a real shame. Nothing wrong, as I said, nothing wrong with the site if it was priced right. I have no complaints whatsoever about the person and the people who own the site. I have no complaints about the site itself. It's clean, it's tidy. It's just overpriced. That's a real shame, because otherwise it's good, and there's some good walks around here. If it sounds like I've got a downer on it, I just think they're charging too much. And we've been on the road for a year now. We stay mainly in campsites of different varieties. So a year on the road, I do feel qualified to say when something's overpriced. And in one of our previous videos, we have stayed at sites. I think the one in Bath was £35 a night, and I felt that was expensive. But I reflected on its location and where it was, and that easy access into Bath. So on the whole, although I felt the site itself was expensive, I could understand why you were paying that kind of money, and it felt, overall, it probably was reasonably good value for money. Unfortunately, I don't feel the same way about this place, but it's my opinion, and other people may have a completely different opinion. But there you go. Drop your prices, and this will be a good place. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to stick the thumbs up and give us a like if you've enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then subscribe, and don't forget to click the little bell, and that way YouTube will let you know every time we post a new video. Otherwise, see you next time.